My dear people of the United Kingdoms of Tikar, Bamenda Highlands, I greet you all. In today's video, we are going to observe how Issa Chiroma Bakari's declaration of national ghost town was observed in Bamenda. In this video, we are going to critically analyze what life would have looked like for us if we joined Nigeria. We have also heard that 4 La Republique soldiers were eliminated in Bambili this morning. The La Republique soldiers who hang around Congress Hall, be warned, because a source on the ground brought this to our notice, that you go around, take 12-year-olds into the Congress Hall and rape them. Be warned. Pack and go back to your country. Now, my people, let's go ahead and start with the ghost town in Bamenda on the 4th and the 5th. Let's see what happened in Bamenda. That is the 4th. And I want to tell the people of the United Kingdoms of Tikar, Bamenda Highlands, I'm so proud of you. This is a strong message that we are legally not citizens of La République du Cameroon. And what goes on in their country doesn't concern us. Because you might have the national ID card and the birth certificate, but that is not equal to legitimacy. There's no ratified union treaty with La République du Cameroon, and we live in a country and in a world governed by laws. Atanganji and the rest, what are they saying? They are upholding the law. So let's follow the law. You are not legally citizens of La République du Cameroon, and let that be underscored. If we can have mature conversations, we will make progress. But if we continue with this ignorance, we'll go nowhere. Now, let's keep watching. Now, I want us to listen to this short excerpt from Fonangwa for the Third, and then we will analyze what life would have looked like, because some in the Southwest say life would have been better if we joined Nigeria. And they've taught this in schools in the Southwest. They've taught this to their children. Maybe they are right. Maybe they are making a point. Let's go ahead and listen to Fonangwafo, because we have leaders that we should listen to.
I was a Nigerian to become a Cameroonian at independence. I think I'm more satisfied here. Perhaps if I were in Nigeria, it wouldn't be the same. So our effort should be measured to the other countries that had independence in the 60s.
My people, Fonangwafo says, life is better where we are. Even without a ratified union treaty with La République du Cameroon, life is better where we are than if we joined Nigeria. But we are going to dig a little bit deeper to find out if this statement is true, because some will say, oh, we can't trust the Northwest. We can't trust Northwesterners. Come no go people, Ngrafi people. We will test the validity of this hypothesis. Let's keep listening.
Not doing well.
You're doing absolutely well.
We're doing very well. We're solving our problems. We're facing the bull by the horn.
I've heard this from Fonangwafo, that life is better where we are than if we joined Nigeria. I've heard this from Gojindinka, the founder of Ambazonia, that life is better where we are than if we join Nigeria. Fonangwafo studied in Nigeria. He studied and got his degree in agriculture in Nigeria. Fonangwafo the third. That is why I said, listen to your people and your leaders, those from the United Kingdoms of Tikar, Northwest. If not, you will fail. Our society is structured in a way that we always have leaders that we listen to, not going about how you feel. You see the La Republic government going into the Southwest to install chiefs. That can never happen in the Northwest. Because we have a people that if the funds are not doing right by the people, we can dethrone them. Because our funds are not supreme. They are our funds are not supreme. They are a custodian of the throne. They are a custodian of the people. And they should understand that. That is how we see our funds. We give them a lot of respect, but they are not supreme. That means they are not God. And they know that. Now, Fonangwafo said, life is better where we are. Let's test that hypothesis. What would life look like for us if we joined Nigeria? Take a look at this map on your screen. We left the eastern house of Enugu in Nigeria in 1953. We left because of Igbophoria, because of how we were treated. According to Fongojin Dinka, we would have had little autonomy joining Nigeria. Now, this is the part of Nigeria we would have joined. I hope people take the time and study this map. To your right, this is Southwest. This is Northwest right here. And this is Biafra. We left the eastern house of Enugu. Enugu is the heart of Biafra. We left in 1953. In 1961, we had our independence. In 1967, the Biafra War started. By 1970, about 3 million people had died because of the Biafra War. So if we joined Nigeria, we would have been part of that. Because this is Biafra, this is Southwest, and this is Northwest. I use those names so that you don't miss it. We would have been part of Biafra. 3 million people. And this area is still unstable till date. When you hear about the global symbol of the starving child, it came from Biafra. The global symbol of the starving child. This is the pain Biafra has gone through. You've heard about the arrest of their leaders, Nnamdi Kanu and the rest. Till date, there is unrest, starvation, disease in Biafra. That is what life would have looked like if we joined Biafra. Those in the United Kingdoms of Tikar, this is time for you to reflect on everything your leaders have said if you will build a future that matters. You can never ever build anything in this world with the people that blame you. think you are the cause of all their problem. When an elite from the Southwest say, oh, life would have been better if we joined Nigeria, that is a coded language to say Foncha is to be blamed for our pain. Foncha is from the Northwest, and by default, all the people of the Northwest should be blamed for the pain that we are going through. Some will not want to have this conversation, go on to force a relationship and then cause problem on everybody. We have to get to a place where we say we don't want to add any more pain on you. So it's better we draw the line here. And those in the Southwest, you still have the opportunity to join Nigeria. The statute of limitation ended on October 1st, 1961. And those who held that power, Foncha and Aijo, are all dead and gone. Those are the only individuals that could ratify this union with La République du Cameroon. So you still have the opportunity to have a conversation and join Nigeria or join La République du Cameroon. As for us, we are out. Any elite from the United Kingdoms of Tikar or Northwest that is going on to push for Ambazonia, you are on your own. We, the young people, after studying this history, understanding the glitch, the insult, the come no go, Foncha is to be blamed, we will not continue with this. That is why we travel abroad. That is why we live among these developed nations, so that we can learn and see how a nation is formed and why it works, and come back and help our people. I said, even the English language that we learned from the British, we took it, instead of just implementing the English, we created a subversion called Pidgin English. And then we want the same outcome. Like the Chinese people who took the English, did not dabble with it, just implemented it exactly as they heard it. The manufacturing projects from America outsourced to China. China did exactly what Americans wanted. And that is why they are still doing business. So the symbol of the starving child came out of Biafra, a place we would have joined. When they tell you life would have been better if we joined Nigeria, ask them by what standard. Now let's look at the lives of those in northern Cameroons who voted to join Nigeria. Because we had northern Cameroons and we had southern Cameroons. Those in northern Cameroons voted to join Nigeria. God is mysterious. He preserved these two incidents so that we can be able to measure progress and have perspective. On your screen is the geographical location of those who voted to join Nigeria. That is to the north of Cameroon, Adamawa and Bono. So this is the area. What you will realize is that is the area heavily affected by Boko Haram. Boko Haram. Poverty, starvation, sickness. When you look at their lives today, those are the regions heavily affected by Boko Haram. On your screen, that is the north of Cameroon, where Issa Chiruma Bakari comes from. Adamawa, Bono, that is the area heavily affected by Boko Haram. There has been unrest in that area since 2009. Over 350,000 people have died in the hands of Boko Haram. 2.5 million displaced. They voted to join Nigeria. In southern Cameroons, if we joined Nigeria, we would have been part of Biafra. 3 million people died in 3 years. From 1967 to 1970. So by what metrics did you use to measure that our lives would have been better if we joined Nigeria? Not up to 70,000 people, even if we exaggerate the number, has died in the Northwest and the Southwest because of this crisis. And most of the people that have been affected by this Anglophone crisis still come from the Northwest. And most affected in the Southwest are from Northwest origin. All the CDC workers, most of them come from Northwest. Now, my people, this is what is going on. I told you, if you don't understand 5,000 years of human history, it'll be difficult for you to solve the problem you're going through right now. You see why I go back and look at those events and then measure them today so that we can build a better future? Less than 2% in our community will go to this extent. And they will tell you overconfidence. My brother, there is shortage of confidence today in this world. If there's anything we need more, look at black people globally. Look at black people globally. Not just arrogance, but confidence in what you know. Confidence in the truth. And the truth is what will set us free. Not ego, but confidence in the truth. Do you know why all of this is happening? My people, that is Southwest on your screen, and this is Northwest. Again, to your left, that is Biafra, Nigeria. When we look at our history, and you go back to 1472, we have been in contact with these white folks since 1472. That is about 553 years. I told you the Chinese people accepted America in 1978. 47 years later, China is a global superpower. We have been in contact with these white folks for more than 500 years. Look at our communities. Even roads, we can't maintain them. We are not here to be attacking people, having resentment in your heart, hating on people. No, but to solve an existential crisis. I said even the English language, we took it, created a subversion called Pidgin English. Christianity, we took it, the one that is practiced here is different from the one we practice back home. We've turned it into a miracle movement. Signs and wonders, where we don't do anything and God does everything for us. Even politics, we don't want to get involved in issues that have to do with the well-being of our nation. People run away from responsibility. Today, some love the La Republic more than us, that they are blaming us for. And we are saying we are parting ways with La Republic. They are enforcing the relationship where there is no union treaty, because everybody in the community wants to have an opinion. Now, this is where the white people came. They got in contact with coastal traders. That would be Douala and Southwest. This is the Southwest and this is the Northwest. This is history, has no emotion. Professor Julius Ngor told me when we had a one-on-one that history is a brutal discipline. You might not like it, but understanding history will help you create a better future so that we fix our hearts. The problem in our community is morality. Moral and upright human beings. Not just Paul Biya, not just Isa Chiruma Bakari, not just Amadu Aijo. Black people, we have some problem morally. We have to fix that. You can't trust people. You can't tell a brother. Everybody is looking for a way to cook one another. We will do celebrity branding with Western nations to oppress our own people. The white folks came through the water, gave guns to the coastal people. They penetrated our land, the Northwest and the Bamili land, captured people there as slaves, came down to the port and sold them to the white folks. Right up to 1889, when we saw the first white man in the Northwest, Eugene Zingraf. For more than 400 years, it has been coastal elites who took guns from the Europeans, penetrating our land and capturing our young people, capturing our women, our children, and selling as slaves. And we have tracked most of them today, their ancestral DNA results. They all come from the Tikar land. This is history. And then you go here after your ancestors have been killed, sold as slaves. You go and pick a name from Bimbia, Isubo, where King Manga William, one of the paramount chiefs that was heavily invested in slavery and slave trade. You pick a name from there called Ambazonia to name yourself. Ambas Bay, that's the place. And you want blessings from your ancestors. Life did not start with you. So if you are from the United Kingdoms of Tikar and you are still going with the name Ambazonia, you are not only betraying yourself, you are betraying your ancestors. That is why I'm bringing clarity to everything. So that tomorrow you don't say, I did not know. No, now you know. And that is what the ancestors woke me up to. Their spirit is awake. Their ghost is roaming the streets of the Southwest and the Northwest. You must return home and return to your gods. Only then shall you find clarity and blessings. So that is the area. See that? Take time and study maps. That is why geography is important. Geopolitics. The Israelites, they know 5,000 years of their history. That is what you go pick and read, called the Bible. You don't know up to 500 years of your history. And that is why you're lost and your own problems never get solved. You're good at fighting. What are you fighting? Define that fight. And you can only define that fight if you understand a minimum of 500 years of your history. If not, any solution you provide is just shallow, and hence the Ambazonia movement. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. These same white folks went to Ethiopia. Ethiopia refused to engage in slavery and slave trade. When they turn around to tell you, oh, they came here and confused our chiefs, it's the same story in Africa. They always confuse you. They always deceive you. So it means you're incompetent. Step down. How come they did not confuse those in Ethiopia? King Menelik stood strong. King Afonso of Congo wrote to the Portuguese in the 1500s saying, we don't want to be part of this slave trade business. There is no record of any coastal elite in this area now we call Cameroon. Again, that name is called crayfish, given by the Portuguese. And that name has not been changed to today. We go around with the name crayfish. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. Africans came up with that proverb after carefully analyzing their betrayal for centuries. And we are here today looking for the enemies outside. Stop blaming France. Stop blaming America. Stop blaming Britain. If the government was good under Ayijo and bad under Paul Biya, and we still have the same relationship with France, don't you think we are the problem? Americans encountered the Chinese people. The Chinese economy is blooming because they had proper structures to learn from the Americans and expand their economy. And today they are a global superpower. The same Americans come to you, you say they are crooking you, they are trying to steal from you. We've checked Most of the companies you claim you have in Cameroon from France, the same companies are operating in China. And yet the Chinese people are not saying they are, because France has companies in our nation, they are manipulating us. No, they negotiate, have good terms of trade, and so they are doing better. America has companies in China. France has companies in China. Britain has companies in China. The same Europeans establish companies in Cameroon, they want to exploit you. Right up to this point, the first country to send a congratulations message to Paul Biya was Russia, not France. They are blind to this because the victim culture is something that we glorify in our community. You see millions of Nigerians on Facebook saying Christians are really being massacred in Nigeria. That is the same area. So never forget, when you are talking about joining Nigeria, never forget that the president of the free world, President Donald Trump, said if that issue is not fixed, we are coming down. And it is in the same area of the people that join Nigeria. The northern Cameroons that join Nigeria. They don't want to be deep, want to be shallow and flat. 553 years. We can't sit down, be upright people, look at each other in the eyes, show some love, unite and build something. Only conspiracy theories. Blame culture. We have Black Man Time, which is a classic example that we don't respect each other. Black Man Time. If you're working for a white man, you show up on time. Your own brother call you and say, oh, let's show up this time and do something. No, you come at 7 when we had a meeting at 4. It's called Black Man Time. My people, if all of these conspiracy theories and ideas in our community hasn't worked for us, don't you think we should reverse it? For 553 years, we have been doing the same thing. 553 years. In 47 years, China has become a global power. We all say we want the technological advancement of China, but we turn around, oh, we want the monarchy of Russia. We want to be like Russia. Why would desire what China has? Life doesn't work that way. And then when you hear a brother like me talking, and you hear things that I say, instead of coming close like, brother, what is going on? How can we learn? How can we fix our society? No, you come and you feel threatened and you're fighting me. I've said we will have solutions that can fix even Cameroon. It will not be through this social media noise. We can fix their country even while we build ours. Black people, 553 years. Over 200,000 of our people within the span of 400 years were captured and sold by coastal elites, Southwest Douala. You said you want dialogue. This is dialogue. You want truth and reconciliation. This is truth and reconciliation. If you don't know how to handle a mature conversation, you become arrogant, bitter, and argumentative, and then you want the conversation. No, demonstrate that you can have a mature conversation. Now that all these things have happened, how do we fix our society? Now, I want you to listen to the same gospel of Christ that is preached in your community, and then you compare that with the gospel of Christ preached in America. Houston has the largest church in the United States of America, Lakewood, led by Joy Austin. We've been there about 2 times. The biggest black church in the United States of America is Potter's House in Dallas. We've been to both churches. The messages we hear in those churches are different from the messages we hear in our community. China will listen, see what works, and duplicate exactly what they heard, what they saw. We took it, water it down, and expect the same result like the white folks. We've done that with language, we've done that with time, we've done that with Christianity, we have done that with democracy.
When things are happening, you don't understand. You worked hard, but you didn't get the promotion. You were good to that person, but they walked away. It's tempting to get bitter, complain. God, where were you? This isn't fair. No, the right attitude is, God, I don't like it, but I trust you. I know you're in control. You wouldn't have allowed this storm if you weren't going to use it to my advantage. So I'm going to stay in faith. I'm going to keep a good attitude, knowing that something greater is coming.
I will keep a good attitude, knowing that something greater is coming. Messages of hope. You go into a church, you leave feeling inspired. No, you lost the job. No, the problem is France. You lost the job. Oh, the problem is the government only, and I have no responsibility. This is the kind of messages I get. Oh, somebody will die. They will poison somebody. This is what our prophets say in our community on a regular. And those churches, oh my God, go in there and see crowd. Here, this is a crowd. The biggest church in the United States of America is a church where people go in every Sunday to find hope. Before this version of Christianity, there was the Protestant work ethic that laid a solid foundation to build faith in Americans in this country. We want the shortcut, we want the miracle. We just want God to perform magic. Keep a good attitude. No, I told you, 85% of your success in life is attitude. Just 15% is skill. And you can always train people for any skill.
Mark chapter 6, Jesus had been teaching the people and was late in the day, and he told his disciples to get them something to eat. Well, they were in this remote area. There weren't any grocery stores, and even if there were, they didn't have the funds to feed thousands of people. He said, Jesus, that's impossible. We can't feed everyone. He asked them what they had, and they came back and said all we could find were 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Jesus prayed over it and multiplied. They fed the first group of 50, then the second group, and on and on. After 5,000 men, plus the women and children, all had plenty to eat, they gathered up 12 baskets full left over. The disciples couldn't believe it. They were so excited. They'd just seen this amazing miracle. I can see them giving high fives, hugging each other. There was all this joy and victory. But while they were still celebrating, Jesus came over and said, I want you to get in the boat, leave here, and go across the lake to Bethsaida. I can imagine them thinking, we don't want to leave. This is a place of favor and blessing. We've just seen you perform a great miracle. But the scripture says immediately after they gathered the 12 baskets, Jesus made the disciples get in the boat and head toward Bethsaida.
That is a powerful message. Like, we are stuck with the idea of Ambazonia, and I've presented a better option that connects us to our ancestors, Tikar people, providing thousands of years of our history to help us have perspective so we can be authentic Africans while adapting to modernity. Some people are stuck. Jesus Christ had performed a miracle, fed people, but he said, we are going to the other side. They would have remained there. You are trying to be stuck with what hasn't worked. Hear the kind of messages. When I go in there, listen to this kind of message. I go into our community and I listen to our message. Miracles, signs and wonders. And then you see the Americans building companies. You see their democracy working. You see them having hope and faith to go out there and help other nations. And then you come with your own version of democracy. Just majority win the vote. That is it. We are stuck with Ambazonia. We will find a way to make it work. God's pattern is all about flexibility. You must be water. Leave this place to the other place. Abraham, leave your father's house. It's the same pattern. Children of Israel, leave Egypt. Peter, leave the fishing business. Now I'll make you fishers of men. Left. People who cannot leave can never ever be used by God. Anything that you've clinched your finger on or your hands on and say, I'm not leaving, God can never use you. Oh, I started with the Cameroon dream and all of a sudden, oh, I'm realizing the incompatibility in this country. No, I will end here. It must work. We'll find a way to make it work. No, I left it. Do you know how much time, energy, resources that I personally invested in this project to leave it? And that's why God can trust you with a mission if you can leave something. Not leaving something bad, but leaving something that looked good for something better. You hear messages like this, you come back, somebody wants to see somebody disappear and appear. They want to see someone that will tell you about your future, where you've been. Let's keep listening.
One translation says he constrained.
In other words, my people, if you are not flexible in life, you will only get little in this world. When we lived in Dallas, Texas, God called me to Austin, Texas to start a church in a predominantly white community. We did not know anyone. I had read a book, Purpose Driven Church. Inspired me so much, of a pastor that went into a community that he knew no one. And reading that book, I had this conviction from God that leave your comfort zone to a place where I will show you. We went in there by faith. And before you noticed it, we had a real estate agent that became our friend, and she was connected to a church. I mean, that community stood around us, blessed us, walked with us, showed us what it means to support a young pastor. Changed everything about how I saw Christianity. Not even the seminary taught me that. Christians in the community, in a place where I don't know. They wrapped their arms around my family, guided me on how to plant a church that works, showed me how to structure a business plan for a church, supported financially immensely without expecting anything in return. No, I experienced it firsthand and was out of faith. We launched our church in that community. It was amazing to see how many people gathered on day one. Both white, blacks in America. My people. And God will take you through journeys like this to expand you, expose you so that you can see the world for what it really is. And not just living in a bubble where people are trying to program you with outdated ideas that have existed for more than 500 years, and yet our community is stuck. Faith. Now, I want you to listen to this video. People are saying Trump coming to Nigeria is after Nigeria's resources. You see, the same, it has been like that. All those videos that you watch of those coffins of Christians in Nigeria, no, they won't show you that. They won't. They'll say, no. Besides this one, no, there's something. That is, you see them in our community. I told you that in every friend circle, every family, you have one. You see them on social media. Now let's listen to a Nigerian that is in the US Army explain to you what he thinks is going on.
Among the old Africans, and USA don't like Nigeria. Number two, I thought say if USA go any country, say any country where they enter, they always scatter. Now lie, now no get sense. Now they do now research. Now only broke be most of them. Now why I jack in my 20s? Now can't join the greatest force, which I'm always happy. Fake army where they he pain them. You understand? He pain them. US Army to get fake army. And I thought say US Army, then they go anywhere where they go, say that they always make sure say the country no progress again. Now the lori buruku. Make account the numbers of country where US Army day, where the country still they progress. We have a base in Poland. Poland is still progressing. US Army is in Poland right now as I'm talking. US Army is in Germany. Why their country? Why we not steal their natural resources? They are coming to steal our natural resources. And any country where they go. How can you come from one country and be stealing somebody's natural resources? How is it possible? If at all, if any country will steal anybody's natural resources, it's going to be with the permission of that government. And I don't get sense.
I told you this, right? There is no way, based on international law, for a foreign nation to dictate, control another nation that way, without the involvement of your leaders. I told you this. I told you this, right? There is no way. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. 25% of elites around the coast of Cameroon and their communities conspired to raid the Northwest and Bamenda land and capture people as slaves. And we still see our people, even in the Southwest till today. Some have given birth to children and they moved there through slavery and slave trade by this coastal elite. When the CDC plantation was established under Germans, because they've changed the name, now you have a CDC, but that was not the original name. Today, they are still working there. How did they get there? Why do you have more people from the Northwest in the Southwest than from the Southwest in the Northwest? Because we've had a history of slave raids, forced migration to the Southwest. Some get into the ship and they are shipped abroad as slaves. You must have people inside. Just like the United Kingdoms of Tikar, Northwest, you will always fail in life, especially our elites, if you keep yoking with the Southwest and don't let them heal. They will always blame you. As it stands now, again, there is no union treaty binding us with La République du Cameroun. The statute of limitation was October 1st, 1961. Aijo was incompetent, did not understand how international politics work, did not follow through with Frontier to ratify that union. They are all dead and gone. And so there is no one in the Anglophone zone that can ratify that union based on that plebiscite in 1961. It will be completely something new. And people have the right to self-determination based on 76B of that UN Charter. 102 said, go and ratify a union treaty. The world is governed by laws. We will hear this and deny it. And then tomorrow we turn and blame the white man. We don't want to follow law. We don't want to follow the right thing. We want to just say, no, we can just vote and then join. Just vote and then things just happen. We don't want to follow the law. The white people will give you instructions on what to do. You go, you decide not to do it, don't blame them. Imagine just with our joining, we did not complete the process. So there was no joining. And then we turn around today, we are trying to create magic, and everyone in the Anglophone zone, even after hearing me, want to continue like this. And then tomorrow, 50 years, they want me to join them in a group to blame the white people. Let this brother tell you, there is no way. He works there. And again, I've told you, I have many friends that have worked for the US Army. Some still work for the US Army. And what he's saying is not different from what they are telling me, or what we have benchmarked ideas on for a very long time. You don't want to listen to someone like me? No, go to Isa Churma. Go listen to the people that can help you. Tomorrow, when I see you in pain, I mean, I'll have empathy, but I'm not jumping in to help you with 1 franc. If you deny knowledge, I first of all present an idea. When people welcome that, we can talk about money. When they welcome that, their mind change, we can talk about money. My brother, you go to church and still give for the pastor to talk to you. I mean, you go to church, listen to a word that can change your life, and you give tithe and offering. Because the word, there is nothing as powerful. You go to the classroom, you pay a teacher to hear what will change your life. But we live there and then we say, no, what just happened? And then we go back to our own ways and then we expect a different result. To get into Harvard is no joke. And what happens at Harvard? People go in there for professors to speak into them so that they can become better human beings after listening to that professor. That is what this YouTube is designed for. You want fun, you don't watch the video to the end and you leave it halfway, you want to rush, go somewhere else. There's always time, but you have many teachers. Imagine you were in school and you had to attend all the courses on campus. You will never graduate and become a master on any of those courses. And that is what we do in the real world today. I choose my teachers wisely on the social media. I don't listen to everybody. If you listen to what that individual is saying, you will get what they are getting. You become like them. Let's keep listening.
Now, how long will I go take to move for Nigeria? All politicians don't know say na foolish. Now no get sense. Now why they always play on our brain?
Charge for treason.
They will always play on you because they know you're stupid. This is Nigeria. Some of you look up to Nigeria. This is what a Nigerian soldier that works in the United States Army, right? A Nigerian working for the United States Army, an army, US Army, is sharing with you. Listen to that. No, close your ears. Still go back and find something that can tickle your ears on conspiracy theories. Now, those who are looking at military rule, or maybe the military can take over in Cameroon. I study, so whatever I'm saying is not based on how I feel. It is based on experience. Gaddafi was a soldier. Did you know that? Gaddafi was a captain in the army. He came, took over Libya, ruled Libya for 42 years. And then when the people started complaining that they need help, the NATO came in. What happened? Libya went down. Gaddafi was killed by his people. And the same people in his community were crying for help. Just like now, we are saying, UN, come and help us in Amazonia. You see how it goes? We've begged, we've tried, we've begged. And then if they come in now and things go south, tomorrow the story around Africa will always be that the West came in and destroyed everything that they had going on. That has been our story, my people. The people in Libya, just like in Nigeria, you see the videos online of pastors, Christians saying, oh, Christians are being killed here by Muslims or by radical Boko Haram. And then when they come in and help, everything falls apart. Have you asked why? It's simple. Because someone like Gaddafi with Libya was a military man. And as a military man, everything is built around them. Everything is built around that leader. And so when that leader is taken out, there is no institution to sustain that country. And so everything crumbles. So it's not about building schools, building churches, building hospitals. No, it's about institutions and capacity building. That is what sustains any nation. That is why you see America changes presidents every 4 years, yet the country is stable, because the institutions, starting with the laws, the constitution is firm. So no matter who is in there, even if things go south, there's a high chance America will bounce back. Let's listen to this later. That is Gaddafi's story. He came in through a military coup, took over. After 42 years, the country was tested. Because whatever you're building will be tested, either by your people or by outside forces. If it is strong, even if you pass away, that country will continue. And that is what we want to build in the United Kingdoms of Tikar. Institutions, trust with the people, a people that have love for their nation. That tomorrow, even if I'm not, that country survives. That country thrives. That is the kind of nation that we are building. We are building people, not just symbols. Let's take a listen to this Nigerian man.
Nobody will pray for military regime. I don't pray for it. But if the civilian dictatorship becomes military regime, then why do you think people are adoring like the military leader of Burkina Faso? It is because their dream about democracy, the promises that we are made to them, they cannot see. But in all honesty, if you know what military regime is, you will be very careful. I know what we're passing through in democracy, but I just tell you like a statement about military regime. Military regime is the government of one person. Forget the issue of your hearing military regime. No, it's the government of head of state. There is nothing like military regime. It's the government of one person. The decree is written by one person. The decree is signed by one person. The courts are set up by one person, and it is that what that one person wants that is done. Forget anything like during the military regime, the military suffered most than even the civilians. If you go to the officers' mess then, during Abacha's regime, you will see 2-3 officers coming together because they will say that they are planning coup, and they will just take you there, tie you in the stake and shoot you. People like us that will say our mind, we don't wish military regime to our worst enemy.
But they don't wish a military regime to their worst enemy. And the way we offset this is by people becoming rational, choosing rational leaders in their society. That is what has happened in America, in Europe, and other countries. It's not about what you see on social media. You have to be among the people and experience it firsthand. We live in a society today where what we see on social media is everything. But there is more to it. Like for instance, when you look at the president of Burkina Faso that he just cited, when he took over power, I looked at it, I'm like, this is a bold move. This is a bold move. And if we have dictatorship systems like that, we need a strong, maybe military leader that cracks down that dictatorship system. And I told my team and my wife, I'm like, this is a bold move. Now, what I saw happen next was the leader extending his term of office. Instead of setting up fair elections where a civilian government can be instituted, now immediately he moved the term of office and said the country is unstable, and so he remained in power. I said, oh, we've seen this script before. We saw it with Libya. Even after 42 years, everything crumbled. We've seen this with J.J. Rollins in Ghana. Was a military leader as well. Took over, the same thing happened. He had to say, oh, no, I'll find a civilian, put them in power, step back. I'm trained to be a military officer. There is one thing you should understand about the military. Military people are decisive people, want to be in control and want to take charge to bring about change through force. And that is how they are wired. And they will see development that way. They will see progress that way. And so that will affect not only the people that they work with, that will affect the civilians in one way or another. And it will always result to dictatorship. There is a pattern. And that is why when you don't study history, you don't understand what has happened over time. That is why this leader is going back to show you that this is what happened here in Nigeria. This is what we went through under a military rule. This is what soldiers themselves were going through. We could not stand and have a conversation and we have 3 people come together that are military officers. They will say, oh, you're plotting to overthrow the government. I admired Ibrahim Traore in the beginning. But when I saw the moves aligning with Russia immediately, instead of, let's say you don't want the West, why don't you choose China? Because this is our problem in Africa, my friends. We say we want the development and prosperity of China. We use our mouth to say things like that, but most of the actions of our leader always aligns with that of Russia. And Russia is a hardcore dictatorship system. How many of your people have you seen clamoring to travel to Russia than they do traveling to America or Europe? Or maybe Britain, France? Few. If that country was that good, then we would have seen more of our people wanting to travel to Russia. So when I saw his alignment with Russia instantly, I mean, you can say no to France, but why didn't you choose China? If you understand how the game of chess works, you will understand what is happening in the real world and in politics. You can start well. That is why I'm cautioning us to build institutions. Because institutions will keep even the leader in check. That means as we are building even the United Kingdoms of Tikar with a proper institution, whoever that leader is will be in check. Will be in check. Because, my brothers, human ego cannot be controlled. Human ego cannot be controlled. So you've heard it. I pray for Burkina Faso. I love the energy. I love the youthful energy. But my prayer is that it is structured the right way. And we have a civilian government based on good institutions. So that we don't have the same story like that of Libya or that of Ghana under J.J. Rollins. Are we tired of these dictators? Yes. Are we tired of their weak negotiations with the West? Yes. Can they do better? Yes. And if we have military leaders that can stand up to crack down these regimes, we say good thing. And then now we move on to set up proper structures. That I can guarantee will work. You rarely hear a military leader governing the free world. But they are active. Just like when you hear Donald Trump saying we are coming to Nigeria, it will be a military commander that will take that job. He's wired that way.
Because it's either I say my mind or I keep quiet. Decree is simply the order of the head of state put in writing. When you hear Armed Forces Ruling Council during Abacha's regime, I don't know whether that council met for even one day. They made a law ousting the power of democratic institutions, and the Attorney General of the Federation was not aware of the law. Onagoruwa was in Lagos. Gani won him, and they announced the law. And he was like, what happened? I just want you to understand that military regime is not the government of the military or the government of the cabinet. It is the government of one man.
And that is what you never see on TV. You never see that at the surface level. But this is what goes on in the background. And when it is tested 20, 30 years from now, everything will crumble. And the West or some other nation will be blamed for that. Now you understand. Yeah, that is why you study here. That is why we do what we do here.
From the days of Aristotle, they warned us about ceding our sovereignty to a human being with all the disorders of the human mind and the affections.
That is why someone like Aristotle, he talked about the idiot, the tribesman, and the citizen. Like we have many tribesmen in our community today, and they don't know it. He talked about concentrating power in the hands of one man, and it's not good. He also talked about polity. That was his idea of democracy, or how a society should be structured. So there is a lot for us to learn, my people, to build a society that works. And most of those institutions are weak in Africa. That is why you see one sentence from Donald Trump gets the biggest country in our continent. We wanted one Africa. I told you that idea of one Africa, trying to turn the entire continent into one country, because of the siege mentality and pain of the past. Free yourself from hate. Free yourself from the pain and baggages of the past. That is why you're a Christian, to let go. Let go. So that you can think well about the future. If you don't let go of the pain, you get trapped into it and it will destroy you. 553 years, we are still here. Do you understand?
World. The greatest thing what happened to me now, this I joined the US Army in my 20s. I left Nigeria in my 20s. US Army strong. Grace for the shadow. Grace for the shadow. Nobody fit check on. Nobody fit check on. And they see all na celebrities and some of na, some of na pastors. Now they talk rubbish. Say, number one, make a first start from this place. I thought, say now, USA can't like America. Say now, USA can't like America. Say, USA don't like America. Number one, go and check fact. I don't say most of na for Nigeria na be mumu. Now why look, I come on there when in my 20s, early 20s, because I don't say most of na be mumu for there. Now what's in the top for man? Now maths na they always talk. I thought say USA don't like Nigeria. Say now they just like Nigeria. Say una don't say Nigeria now you get the highest population of Africans for USA. And USA don't like Nigeria. Go and check, because now the check record, now no get sense. All now do now to cruise. We don't know say now cruise Nigeria day for.
You know a country that likes you based on the number of people that can travel from your country to that country. You know a country that likes you when your people travel over there and they can have good jobs, have work permit, give birth to children in the United States of America, and they become US citizens. You turn around and you insult a country like this, my brother. Tell me how you will come together with your own brother and appreciate them for their own ideas, appreciate them when they bring up something good. If you can hate a country where almost 40% of the money that is sent back home for remittances come from the United States of America, that GDP of Cameroon, many people here abroad send money back home. And then you curse with your mouth the same country that feeds you. Again, any global power, you either become their friends, you admire them, or you hate on them. If you become their friends, you are blessed. They're too friendly, it's not too good. You admire them, you can learn from them and do better. And that is the position that I stand on. That's the position I stand on. You become their enemies, you get crushed. Psychologically or physically. Immediately you feel and think that way in your heart, you block even doors of opportunity. You cry for help. It will be hard for them to come. And even when they come and leave, you will be destroyed. This wall is not just physical, but it's spiritual. How you feel about people will affect your own life and your relationships with those people without you saying a word. Without you uttering a word, just how you feel in your heart about someone can block doors of opportunity and a relationship with that person, whether you like it or not. Now, if you take it to gossip and you start talking about those people, you make it even worse. But just thinking. That is why the greatest book written in America is the book Think and Grow Rich. You must think to grow rich. You must think a certain way to grow rich. And Jesus said it clear, as you think in your heart, so are you. As you feel, those emotions must be guided.
No sense. Just come cash cruise online. Nobody gets sense. After 3 days, they don't forget. They don't move on. Anywhere they left his fans. Now no get sense. Now one na president with all my leaders. Then they chop na head. Now no get sense. Cause they know so most of them no get sense. Now 10 kilo by me when I get. Let it all get happen. All happen. They kill many people. They like say na AI. Say no happen. Now no get sense. No brain. I always thank God say I joined the greatest force. Covered by the greatest force. They don't bought anybody papa mama way. Up on top of my own lyrical head. Now don't say US no like America. USA no like Nigeria. Now Nigeria plenty past America. Go and check your record. I don't just talk like you or who say I don't get sense. I need to do research. Now Nigerians plenty pass for Yankee among all the old Africans. But USA no like Nigerians. But now Nigeria plenty pass. Number 2, you're not gonna spread the yaya rumor. They see all those already buruku.
And you have them even in our community in America here with this mindset. They hate on America. They say all sorts of things about this country. I don't agree to that. I can't be free to express myself in this country, even more than in the Cameroonian community. And then you want to turn around and tell me that these people have a problem, when they can even criticize their own president and they are not being haunted. Dogma everywhere, conspiracy theories everywhere. They will kill you because of that conspiracy theory. They want to enforce it and shove it down the throat of people. But I say, if you try, just physically, I will destroy you, and spiritually, our ancestors will deal with you to the 3rd generation. Our people have suffered too much for foolishness. And it ends here. The book ends here. Moving forward. Try it. And know that your ignorance has clouded your thinking. That you want to manifest it with strength. We will restrain it. Put it under control. Solitary control. Because the United Kingdoms of Tikar will be a reality in this dispensation. And our people will return back to their ancestors. And our land will be free from oppression. And we'll go on to bless neighboring countries around us and make the world a better place, solve global problems, contribute to the well-being of the world. We will stop stretching our hands for help and start contributing to make the world a better place. Moving forward. This generation, it marks the end to begging, hoping, yet insulting the same people that we want help from. It contradicts your every belief system, and so by default, you fail before you even start. And they don't know this. You must not speak. You have the right to remain silent if you don't know what you're talking about. You have the right to remain. If you can't say good things, you open your mouth, just negativity, just pain. You criticize people and you cannot present something better. You cannot present an option. You just want to insult. Something is wrong, brother. Something is wrong inside. Treat that. No, it's a white man. We have to restrain that ignorance. Conspiracy theories. If you think America is a problem, go back to your country. Just go back. Why are you here? Did they force you? Did they call you? I never heard someone from America calling you, say, leave your country, come over here. I've never seen that. Nobody forced you to be here. Nobody forced you to go to Europe. And if you think Europeans are the problem, go back to your own country. It's that easy.
All those idiots, Mr. Jollof, all those gay, giving you get sense. When he said, nah, all of them don't try to apply for American visa. They don't give that jollof. You portable don't beg for American visa more than 25 times before they can't give them the 26th time. All those people, they don't go US embassy, they deny them. They're plenty like that. And at the end of the day, now America, they still can't settle down. They can't they big party with their old age. And all the now Yankee, they save all of their life. Nobody. But now this same Yankee that talk say no like now. Now this same Yankee that they come. We say all of that they use to last hope. All na year British. If the life don't spoil for Nigeria, now don't fall off. Now Yankee that go come the big party. We are the always talk. Evidence yakpa. I save them. Mr. Jolo don't go US embassy more than 5,000 times. They don't give him visa. Olori Puruku. He can't talk now America like Nigeria. Now if any country will steal anybody's natural resources, it's gonna be with the permission of that government. Now no get sense. Now how long will go take to move for Nigeria? All politicians don't know say now foolish. Now no get sense. Now why they always play on our brain? How can some
I told you that the change can only come when the crowd start listening to smart people in the community, not conspiracy theorists. And he's saying it. Those politicians know you are stupid. They will play on your ignorance and emotion. Those in the United Kingdoms of Tikar, stay away from all this noise from La Republique du Cameroon. They don't know what they are talking about. They don't know what to do. Some will go around claiming, oh, Issa Chiruma is not, what is he doing? What is new with what he's doing? They can swear him in as president. That is what we have seen happen in Côte d'Ivoire, Afghanistan. It's nothing new. We know how this game is going to end. But those in the United Kingdoms of Tikar, like I've said, detach. Those in the United Kingdoms of Tikar, I'm happy that you went out on the foot and on the feet about your business. Whatever is going on in La Republique du Cameroon is none of our business. We want to build with people that we can trust. We want to build with people that love us. We want to build with people that care about what we care about. We believe what we believe. So we can establish institutions and wisdom that we can transfer from generation to generation. Not just this generation.
Nobody come from another country and enter another man's country and be stealing their natural resources without the approval of that government. How is it possible? It's not possible. So if at all, if any country will even want to steal anybody's natural resources, it's with the permission of Naoga. So it's
all those conspiracy theorists in your community have been lying to you. All of them. At least this is someone that has worked and is still working as a U.S. Army. Let him say it so you get it. There is no way a government from another country can just remotely manipulate another sovereign country. Doesn't work. And I've read the UN Charter on that. All those conspiracy theorists in your community have been lying to you for more than 65 years. Their incompetence, illusion about events have manipulated your destiny. And they will continue. Some come through the church. Some come through social media. Different channels. My brother, take this good news. If you want to be a good journalist, take this good news of what I'm sharing here and create a platform and talk about these things. Expand on them so that our people can be united on one idea. We need to spread the message of the United Kingdoms of Tikar to every inhabitant in our community. But yet we want to say keep spreading like probably to Cameroon and their elections. Is it a choice? Yes. You turn around tomorrow, 5, 10 years. Those people are in the same place. Is it a choice? Yes. Did God send somebody with something to help you? Yes. Did they take it? No. Will you blame God? No. Will you blame the West? No. They allowed people like us to come in here and study. Went into churches where they say, oh, it's only for white people. No, we walk in. We walk in. Sit in there. Everybody in there was white. They never criticized us. They accepted us because our heart is open. We don't hate nobody. We just want the best for ourselves and our people and the community and the world. We show up with that heart. Our hands are open. Our minds are focused towards that. The world receives you like that. You walk in, everything is bad here. They are trying to get black people. They are trying to get Africa. You will get just that. There will be somebody in there that will get you. You see a policeman, you start trembling. Oh, maybe they don't like black people. I mean, I don't do that. I meet the white man, whether it's a policeman, I shake their hands. We are all good. I don't have anything in my mind towards you. And this is something that I learned in the seminary. You must cleanse your heart from hate to survive in this war. Cleanse your heart from hate. Jealousy. Human nature. You must tame and restrain yourself.
Not possible, which is a lie. Only in Buruni, you now go to any country where US go, you know they progress. Libyans are the one that killed Gaddafi themselves. It's not America. America has nothing to do. Show us your evidence.
Libyans killed Gaddafi. And Libyans asked for help. Just like Ambazonians have been asking for help. Just like how Nigerian Christians have been asking for help. The US has been supporting Nigeria and Cameroon since 2014. Started in 2009. Trained their soldiers to help solve that problem. They won't tell you that. That millions of dollars have gone to just Nigeria and Cameroon to combat Boko Haram. Since 2014 till date, they haven't solved that problem. They take the BIR and send to the northwest and the southwest to come attack our people. That same BIR cannot stop Boko Haram. Even after receiving training from Israel, from France, and from America. They don't tell you this one. They don't. I mean, that is why I pick even clips of them begging America so that tomorrow you won't say, oh, they came and destroyed everything. No, they asked for help. When you turn around and then you blame the people again, my people, do you expect them to help you again in the future? We live in here now to understand what is happening. See our people's behavior and say, no, brother.
Because you all are entering my DMs. Some people are entering my DMs. This and that. Don't come. Oh. Mr. Trump is not telling, Mr. President is not telling us to go to, they not tell US Army to go to Nigeria to go kill, it's not to kill anybody. It's for peacekeeping. They are not going to Nigeria to fight innocent soul. What Mr. Trump was talking about, Mr. President is talking about is that they should stop killing of the Christians. And the Christians could be anybody. Because if they come for peacekeeping, is everybody they will protect. Because nobody said they go right now for anybody and say this one a Christian, this one a Muslim. Mr. President don't need any of your natural resources. We have everything in America. That is why all of now they come America. And the country we are fighting for, that's why we stand for America, because that's the country I'm fighting for. So all of Nigeria British, Nigeria, they come. They come, they big party, all them Dr. Seed. All of them, they plenty. Today is not the day where J1, all of them, the day after their career don't crash for Nigeria, they come. All of them, in America, they come. Why they don't go to another country? But in America won't come to your natural resources, but all of them won't come to America. And I don't say that they're mad. The whole world wants to come to America. The country be defended by the Marines and the US Army. All of them won't come. Thief. But you all will be talking.
I mean, and you cannot get up and say, the West is the problem. You want to create your one Africa. That means you turn the second largest continent on earth into one country. We have ECOWAS. We have CEMAC, Sahel. So we've created blocks that we could strengthen and make it better. But yet we want to stay united. Even in Asia, there's nothing like the United Asia Confederation. We have the African Union. As crazy as it sounds, we have the African Union. But still, we want to still turn it to one country to make it work. There is no continent on earth that has a union based on that continent. We are the only ones that have African Union. There's nothing like Asian Union. Even North American Union. American Union, there's nothing like that on earth. My brother, 553 years we are dancing like this. That is why you cannot take everybody in here and bring about that change. God had to must take 12 tribes, the Israelites, out of Egypt and start with them. And that's why we bring out the United Kingdoms of Tikar. 80 tribes to start at least a model that the rest of the continent of Africa can see what it means to build a country based on consent. Gaddafi's people killed him. But my brother, conspiracy theories. I share all of this because United Kingdoms of Tikar, we will be different. Just reverse everything you've ever heard. Your life will be better. Listen to your leaders. And Wafo has said it, that our lives are better now where we are than if we join Nigeria. And I've proven that with data to back it up. Those who just want to sit around and blame others for their problem will say otherwise. I've shown you with data. 350,000 of our people in northern Cameroons that joined Nigeria, the Adamawa area, have been victims of Boko Haram. 2.5 million people displaced. It's the first place where Donald Trump is saying, if you don't get your act together, we've been sending money to help you, you're incompetent, and we're coming down there to fix that problem. In Enugu, right here, Biafra, 3 years, almost 3 million people died from 1967 to 1970. Data. Face the truth, black people. Embrace reality. Your lives will be better. And you still see all of this and say, oh, if we join Nigeria, it would have been better. And you find heroes to elevate because of that idea. Till today, Biafra war is still going on. Biafra war is still going on till today. Be honest human being, my brother. Nothing will beat that. Nothing will beat that in this war. You can talk yourself out of any situation, my brother. The consequences are building. You think that you are smart because you just said it and all of a sudden you had a crowd of people around you. Brother, you will have to deal with the consequences of that idea either now or in the future if you don't change. You guys think you've been destroying your leaders in the past, many of them. What has changed? Or you raise leaders that feed your ego and conspiracy theories. What has changed? What has changed in the continent of Africa, sub-Saharan Africa? I mean, look at North Africa. The Algeria, Egypt, Libya, all of those places were occupied by black people. Those Arabs came there and pushed you down. More than 18 million black people were enslaved through the Arab slave trade. And they have occupied your land today. Did you know that? So Islam controls people's belief system. The Islamic belief controls people's behavior. All of North Africa you see today used to be occupied by the Berbers, black people. They've been pushed down. To even see a black man that is a Muslim, I mean, it's confusing for me. That entire North Africa used to be occupied by black people. They've pushed you all down here and taken over. When I see a black man that is a Muslim, I'm confused. People's belief control their actions. People's belief control their action. They will force you to become a Muslim. And hence the Boko Haram unrest. They say, oh no, it's the radical part. Yeah, I get it, but this is what we get from this kind of belief. Oh, it's not everybody, it's just a few. No, when you are saying white man, you never say it's just a few. You just generalize, you say the entire white race. When you're talking about Europeans, you don't just point out those few European countries or the few individuals who came down there for colonization, slavery and slave trade. No, you generalize, you say Europe. Now, when it comes to what Muslims are doing or what is being produced out of that faith, you say, no, it's just a few, it's the radical ones. Who are you fooling, my brother? Who are you fooling?
Shit about America. And I go talk America is the one sponsoring all those kidnapping, terrorism in the world. Where's the evidence? Where is your evidence? Why all of them they come America to survive, to come do paper? And you know the Buruku, LSC. We have a base in Poland. Why we don't see the natural resources? We have a base in Germany. We have U.S. Army went to Afghanistan to work with security forces of Afghanistan to fight against Taliban. They didn't go there to fight Afghanistan. They went there to fight Taliban that are fighting Afghanistan. And we left Afghanistan because we spent too much money in Afghanistan. We lost like 1,000 soldiers. Taliban that died, they are over 100,000.
That is what the U.S. military looks like. They lost about 1,000 soldiers. The Taliban's hundreds of thousands. And yet, Ngongo and the rest, you cannot handle them. And you talk about challenging the United States of America, running your mouth about this country. I don't see any wisdom in that. I'm telling you, I have to be blunt with you guys. The way you talk about the United States of America, I don't see no one iota of wisdom in that. Do I love the United States? Yes. Can I learn from them? Yes. Am I their enemy? No. I'm not going with that narrative. I don't see an iota of wisdom to be blessed by this country and yet insult this country. To desire to come to this country, if they provide visa, all those things that you're talking about will fall in the gutter and then you come here. You go through Mexico to get here just to insult this country. Go back to your country. Be a man of your words. Let what you're thinking in your head be aligned with your actions. I will respect you. Can never respect any man that will find every way to get here and then insult this country. I look at you, I don't trust you. If I get to build anything with you, you will do the same thing. So I just draw the line right there. Because you say, no, it's just conversation. It's not conversation. They have some thoughts in their mind about being ungrateful in spite of what you do to them. And they will use all sorts of theories to justify that instinct, that behavior. What I've learned with Americans is if they have friends that talk a certain way, they just leave them. That's what I've discovered here. You have some kind of ideas, immediately you self-correct. You go out there, fix yourself. You go out there, you correct yourself. The next friend that you meet, you adjust that character and choose your words wisely. With that, a society is built in a constructive way. But anybody speaking as they feel, behind closed doors, and you let it slide, your society goes down over time. What is going on in Cameroon today is the collective utterances of the people that are negative, not accurate. And the people don't focus on the real issues that could help fix their country. And so that leader reflects the collective thinking of the people. Bring him down. Change the constitution. Start by changing yourself first. Have a leader in there that will represent your interests.
Taliban's may pay for Afghanistan is over 100,000. Go and check. We only lost 1,000 soldiers or thereabouts. So U.S. Army is the number one. There's nothing like we left. We ran away from Afghanistan. We didn't run. We left Afghanistan because we were there to help their security forces and we are paying too much money. It's not like all those idiot soldiers that doesn't know anything. Like this one that is following, where they follow Portable Talk. We don't know anything about. See as they follow Portable Talk. See person they follow Portable Talk. This one, like Mumu like this. See. See as they follow Portable Talk. You don't get energy. See soldier. We're supposed to position Portable. We're supposed to basic pay. This one. one don't know anything about me. You don't know anything about me. Forget in rank. Sex they talk. We're supposed to, I don't feel talk, but portable they talk because there is action. Now we don't go be army. We get action. Anywhere we went, people they fear us. We know the history. USA army didn't go to Afghanistan to steal their natural resources. We went there to support these Afghanistan security forces to fight the Taliban. And they were able to, to bring down US army of like 1,000 soldiers thereabout. Taliban were buy for there, this over 100,000 when we drop. We let Afghanistan really run away in Afghanistan. We left them because we spent too much money there. We have all our big planes there.
And don't let anybody fool you. China has made significant progress for 47 years now. There are still Chinese people hunting American citizenship, wanting to come over here. And this was a country that people that came from China, they found it hard to have even a house in California. And black people had to help them at some point. But look at China today. China is still growing. And people who don't understand geopolitics think, oh, if China shows you their weapons that they are manufacturing, that means, oh, they can fight America. No, China will never, ever try that. If you know about what the encirclement is all about, there are nations around China that are allies with America. America is strategic. They don't just, we see, oh, if they have a strong weapon, that means they can fight. That's not how geopolitics work. That's not how politics work. We measure someone based on their friends, their allies, just like NATO alone. This is an alliance with other countries, and there are US military bases in those countries. That means if a war starts, we already have people in here to attack from those countries, not directly from America. And people who don't understand how geopolitics work run their mouth. America has about 750 military bases, close to 800 military bases in 80 countries. You don't even understand what that means. That means if war starts, we already have people positioned in 80 different countries to strike within a close range. China does not have that. But yet China is a country that is looking at building. They are not out for war. Since we are warring people, we have the tribesman instinct. Our tendency is to drive towards war. Like, okay, if I just have military, I will fight. No, there's a lot that goes into winning a war, hence the Amazonian crisis. And that's what I'm saying to all the people from the United Kingdoms of Tikar. If you unite, we can make significant progress. War, to win a war, is not all about the number of soldiers that you have, how they dress. No, there's a lot. Geopolitics plays a significant role. Where your military are, supplies, many things. Many things that we won't talk about here. To have people run around with crazy ideas. But you get the point? The US has 80 countries right now with more than 800 military base in those countries, that if there is a war right now, America can strike from most places around the world, that you won't see maybe a missile leaving the United States immediately to solve that problem. Even China or Russia will not dare get into war with America. Russia is looking at preserving their past glories, the global power they used to be. China is looking at building a future for their people. Most African leaders gravitate towards Russia. So you will lean towards preserving past glories because that is the energy you get associating with Russia. America is advanced in technology and is looking right into the future. China thrives through global trade. So any war with America, they might end up with sanctions that might cripple their economy. And this is a country that was stuck for 183 years, stuck in poverty, stagnation in their communist system. So they will not want to jeopardize that for your warlike energy, wanting to be a warrior. That is a typical tribal man, as the Greeks would define it. Tribesmen. We want to build citizens that have global perspective. So if you don't understand how geopolitics work, where is China today? Where was China 200 years ago? And what does China prioritize now? Where is Russia today? Where was Russia 200 years ago? Or maybe 100 years ago? And what does Russia prioritize now to remain relevant? And any alliance with Russia or China or the United States of America, I can tell your future. I can tell the future of your country. Most of the great technologies, inventions, all started here in America, then sent to China and other countries, which they are diversifying right now to have other nations do what China is doing for America. And if that moves smoothly, China will not be the predominant supplier of finished goods to Europe or America. And if care is not taken, that might weaken the economic power of China. But if China keep doing business, don't want to get into all the politics and ideological war, they might be in a safe place. This is studies. This is not emotion and feeling and headlines on CNN. That is why you see Russia sends congratulations message to Paul Biya. Why? To show the West, oh, I have a foot here now. And Cameroon, because we have archaic politicians, they took that and published it to say Russia recognizes the presidency of Paul Biya. Lame move. You are a pawn in the hands of Russia. As we build the United Kingdoms of Tikar, we will not be loyal to America to afford that we get to do anything that they say. We will admire, partner, and work with them. There are things we'll learn from Russia as well. We will not be loyal to Russia like I see others doing. So is our relationship with China and any other European country. We will be the safe place where they can trust to bring about stability in West and Central Africa. That is how I see things. We love, admire America. Good friends. But we will not be a pawn to any country.
Mobility command, everything we come out for there. All this one don't learn about army. All our equipment, we even left some because we are wasting money there, over billions of dollars. That was why we left. We didn't run away in Afghanistan. They know. We not in Afghanistan. Taliban we fight Afghanistan. We didn't go there to fight Afghanistanis. We went there to fight Taliban, to help Afghanistan security forces. Any country where you see Americans going there, we are going there to help their security forces to stop ISIS. We are not going there to fight them because you people don't have sense. We are not going to fight any countries. Most people who join me, they don't know anything. They just join me. Most Nigerians join me, they just join me because of paper. They don't know anything about the army. Now we don't go be army. Now we they represent army. Those ones don't know anything about army. We have base in Germany. We have base in Poland. We have base in Kuwait. Up to now, why we don't see the natural resources? We have base in everywhere. Iraq. Till we just left. Why we don't see the natural resources in Iraq? We have base in Jordan.
That's why I'm saying all the fighters in the United Kingdoms of Tikar, whatever unit you're leading, this is time to unite. You are Tikar, you're not Ambazonia. Without a clear vision rooted in who you are, you pick up Ambazonia. What is Ambazonia? Former British Cameroon, your colonial master's heritage. You will fail picking up a name from a place where your ancestors were shipped as slaves. As you unite under this vision, even the kidnap or ransom will reduce because our people will collectively start finding who they are. And so young people will have the heart to serve. That is authentically our tradition and our culture. And I see that with a lot of American soldiers. The desire and the heart to serve. We need that back. That is what associating with La Republique has turned you into. Money first before you even think of service. That is not us. But the vision of Ambazonia will continue with kidnap or ransom, talking about it, hoping that it changes. We'll destroy ourselves in the process. The vision is number one, leadership, strategy. I've talked about a story that guides us. Without this, you will fail. And the people willing to obey and follow that vision and get their lives blessed in the process. Moses had the vision, articulated the vision. The people were suffering in Egypt. They followed Moses and his leadership and the vision, and all of them left Egypt without dying. It started with obedience. Put the blood on your door so the messenger of death can pass over. Everybody collectively obeyed. It worked. America works today because the people cooperatively followed their leader. Americans have one of the most loyal citizens on earth. You might see the left and the right, but whoever is following the ideas of the Republican Party is loyal to that party. Those who are following the ideas of a Democratic or Republican Party, they are all loyal to their party. Americans are very obedient based on my observation. They obey. They know how to serve. And we had that already in the United Kingdoms of Tikar. You might suppress it now, but it's time to rekindle that spark. As you obey, within a very short while, you see our parents that have been stopped abroad will start thinking of coming back home. People will come around with great ideas and we'll be able to build a society that works. Anything else is a facade. Ambazonia is a facade. You go nowhere with those from the southwest. If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. They speak English like you right now. Who is in the best position to betray you? Them. If they don't like you, you and Grafi, Kamnogo, Foncha betrayed you, would have been better with Nigeria. All of those, you fail. And all these young people that have died, we've lost more people. But Ayok Sese Kotabe declared independence. If it was a Bamenda man that declared independence, you will all be dead by now with conspiracy theories. Now they are stuck with this. They are stuck with the idea that it came from them. But yet we have still lost more people. We have not said, oh, we are going to blame you for that. I've measured everything so you can see the history with facts, not emotion. People in our community, my brother, they know how to cram things. They will tell you some stories, but to bring it together and make sense of their problem and make progress is hard. As a thinking is the hardest job. People think memorization, cramming, regurgitating facts is equal to problem solving. Those are different elements that live in different environments. Cramming facts, regurgitating facts, and understanding how to bring these facts and make sense of your problem and solve that problem. My brother, is a tough task. Sometimes God has to call you for things like that. With all humility.
Camp Ajifan for Jordan. Why we not still the national resources in Jordan? We are always there for peace. We are all because the whole world, they rely on US Army. They rely on US Marines. So that's why we are always out there to support. We haven't fought war in a very long time. Maybe the last time we fought war, maybe it's the Vietnamese time. We haven't fought war. Any place we go to is for peacekeeping. We are supporting because the whole country depend, not like all those Chinese when they come America, where they call it suffer. Chinese is good, Chinese is good. They are coming to America to do paper. At least any Americans going to Chinese to do paper on our mouths. America is the greatest country. So respect Mr. President. We are not going to Nigeria to fight the innocent people. Mr. President is sending the troops there to stop terrorism, to stop genocide, to stop kidnapping. They are not going there to fight Nigeria. All this I say, all this one boy portable, all those Mr. Jalov, they tell those gege, those idiots, those illiterates, those.
My people, only people who love lies love to see you suffer. will have problem with what I'm saying. Those who are corrupt love to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out at the expense of their people. They are the only people that will be angry with what I say here. Even if this message makes you feel bad, it will free you. So deal with whatever pain you have going on inside. This is what we need in this generation. And this is what we have been missing for more than 553 years. Suppressing the truth and trying to manage lies. And we've gone nowhere. Make a U-turn. And I end with this. I appreciate some of the brilliant women in our community that have been supporting, writing, sending messages. Appreciate how you think. But there is a lady in the Bible called Abigail. Abigail was a very smart woman, married to a man called Nabal. David served that man, and at some point, David sent a group of people to ask for some favor from that man. That man insulted David. Insulted David. We have some Nabals in our community. He insulted that man. And David decided to attack that man as he was planning to attack, because he was a very wealthy man. You can have people that are rich and foolish, and we have them even in our community. They have the money, but they are stupid. So Nabal was a very arrogant man that could not control his mouth. Somebody served you, and yet you insult him in that manner. So David was planning to attack that man viciously. The wife, Abigail, is the woman that met David, spoke with wisdom and compassion. I think she gave some assets to David to calm down the situation. And that preserved her husband's household, preserved her husband's property. The next day, the woman shared with the husband what she had done to calm the situation. A couple of days later, the man passed away. David ended up marrying that woman. But this was a foolish man. But a brave woman preserved her household. As we live in this society where there is gender war, I want to let you know, the Tikar women, you are very strong women. You come from a society where we've had the Takambans, the Malfors. Women have always played an integral role to build our society. That is your background. And so this is time. If you're married, not married, this is time that you look into the future of your children, our children, and the future of the Tikar people. Some of your husbands, they will be great, like the husband of Esther. That was a great man that preserved the children of Israel at a time where there was another plot to destroy them. You will see that Esther stood up for their people. That was a great woman. So let's not mix this toxic feminism with brave women that come from our culture, that have played a significant role to shape our society. I come from a family where we've had some brave women, and they've really changed our families, and we must give them credit for that. And so this is to empower women. There's a difference between this toxic feminism and strong women that help shape society. And you can see that in the life of someone like Esther. Esther used her strength as a woman, Jewish woman, to get the king to spare the life of our people. And so is Abigail. Today, the Jewish people celebrate the day Esther intervened for them. I think they call it the Purim. They call it the Purim. They celebrate that globally. The day they would have been destroyed. by Haman's plot. But today, they get to celebrate that same day because of Esther. So these are brave women even in the Bible. We must acknowledge their contribution to shape society. So I just thought I end on that note to encourage us all. What is the future of our children? And what can we do in our lifetime to build a country that works for our people?
Now, Pastor Buruku, those show with all of them. They are going there to support the masses, people that have been taken advantage of. Now, we don't go be military, we know the work. We know the work. But it's my journey here, so I just make it clear now that you are me strong. Fight for the right and the.
So let's get involved. My number is on the screen. We need sensitization. We need these messages to go around, maybe through Facebook or other platforms. We need to mobilize our young people. Our fighters need to hear this new message, change their minds from what they have been conditioned for the past 9 years, and turn their energy towards their ancestors, towards a nation that is built on our ancestry, who we truly are as Tikar people. And once that happens, La Republic will see a different energy on the battlefield. And they will redeploy their soldiers. We don't want this to end up with us being enemies with La Republic du Cameroon. I want my position on that to be firm. Leave our country, and we don't want this to end up with us being enemies. Black people have gone through a lot. Let's get our act together and act as mature people. We don't need the United States or other foreign nations coming in to a situation where we would have had a great conversation and you redeploy your troops and we go on to have amazing lives.